The Dodgers outlast Milwaukee in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. The Rams say Puka Nacua's ankle isn't a long-term-ish, and we have yet another reason why the Clippers are going to avoid punishment in the Kawhi Leonard pay scandal. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is October 14, 2025. Back on the road for work, back in mini scrotum. Sucks for me, but we've added multiple new subscribers to the Angeleno Familia. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. We'll do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, we have an expanded look at the scoreboard while the Dodgers are advancing to repeat. Starting with Dodgers 2, Milwaukee 1 in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. It ends with the Dodgers just 7 wins away from being the first team to repeat in over 2 decades. Blake Snell pitched 8 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts and just 1 hit. But it just couldn't end without another reason for Dave Roberts' haters to be up in arms. And I know exactly what some of you guys are thinking because I have thought the same thing. I'd be lying to you if I said I've never thought this. Sometimes it's as if Roberts doesn't want us to have nice things, like complete game shutouts. Roki Sasaki had his first rough outing in relief. He allowed a run and then 2 more base runners to get on before he got pulled. Blake Trinan then loaded the bases, but he got Bryce Terang on a strikeout. So the question then becomes, why the hell didn't you have Snell finish the job? You would think Roberts would know Snell better. Personal experience from having seen Snell pitch against the Dodgers. Snell pitched in Tampon Bay when the Dodgers were facing the Rays in the World Series in 2020. In the deciding game of that series, Snell had the Dodgers on lockdown until the Rays manager removed him. Dodgers rally, they get the ring. Now, I will say there is one thing that's most definitely in Roberts' defense. Snell threw 103 pitches. How much really did he have left in the tank? Meanwhile, Freddie Freeman homered. Mookie Betts drove in Max Muncy with what turned out to be the winning run. It's the first win for LA over the Brewers this year. And yes, I know all about the 404-foot 8.62 double play that blew up the internet. But that would have mattered if the Dodgers lost. And they didn't. So on to the next. And as a side note, props to the Cougar behind home plate in Milwaukee with the surgically enhanced rack. We all approve. Well done. Very MILF-tacular. Also, Mini Scrotum 4, Kings 3 in a shootout. Side note, beyond the game, the Kings' third defensive pairing of Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin, both were free agents added after the extremely reliable Vladislav Gavrikov left. They are -5 in plus minus. Now, I realize plus minus is not an effective stat. I get it. But what is kind of telling is there is only one person in the NHL with a worse plus minus number. That might be a little hinty hint that the third pairing sucks. Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers are at Milwaukee at 5. Game 2 of the NLCS. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to get the start. So what do you say we get to the news? The Rams dodged a bullet, which I realize is a poor choice of words considering they play in Inglewood, but I digress. Puka Nacua is allegedly just day-to-day with an ankle sprain. The injury happened in the second quarter Sunday. He was attempting to catch a pass in the end zone. Said Sean McVay, quote, "There is nothing on the scan that looks like it's going to be a long term. The uncertainty of this week is the real thing. The bye has nothing to do with our approach on that," unquote. But you are wondering a little bit, if you watch enough Rams football, about are there other changes coming? For example, one of the many unwritten rules in professional sports is you don't lose your job to injury, right? But right tackle Rob Havenstein, who was inactive Sunday for the Baltimore game, he's been struggling this year. His replacement Sunday, Warren McClendon, was terrific. He didn't allow a single pressure on Matthew Stafford. By the way, Stafford passed Dan Marino for career passing yards Sunday. He's up to 9th all time. One person we would assume is on shaky ground is kicker Josh Carty. He's had multiple attempts blocked this year. Sunday, he didn't get blocked, but he hit an upright and missed. The field goal that he made was a 36-yarder that just fluttered along like a middle schooler teaching himself how to kick off a tee. Not a good look. Only McVay said, quote, Josh Carty is a guy that I'm ready to stick with, unquote. So we got a good share of Rams news to discuss. Feel free to let me know what you think. Do you want to know another reason why the Clippers are likely going to get away with this alleged end run? To use an outside company to pay Kawhi Leonard beyond the salary cap? Because convicting the Clippers is going to make the NBA look stupid. Stupid with 3 O's. They vetted, the NBA did, they vetted and approved this goofball environmental finance company, Aspiration, for a jersey patch. The NBA does not review every sponsorship agreement, which makes sense. That's a lot of advertising in pro sports. But if you're getting a jersey patch, if something representing your company is going to be right next to the logo, yeah, the NBA kind of wants to make sure it's not for weed or erectile dysfunction pills. Now, the logo for Aspiration, which I'm guessing is a Bitcoin symbol wrapped around a eucalyptus, was supposed to be on the jersey for the Clippers in 2023-24. That didn't happen because the feds were already all over the company's finances. None of this is for me to suggest that the Clippers are innocent, that they didn't potentially use this bogus company to launder money to Leonard that they couldn't give him under the salary cap. No, this story smells. This story smells worse than a brothel after We Welcome Chlamydia Patients weekend. But it is to say that they are going to get away with it even if there is a violation. Because if the Clippers are guilty, the previous NBA investigators, they look worse than Liam Neeson in Police Squad. You don't think a real investigation into Aspiration would have uncovered the bogus finances? That possibly this was a way to launder money to the Clippers franchise player? They know how ridiculous they look. They absolutely know how ridiculous they look. And the sooner that this whole fiasco goes away quietly, the better for the NBA. Simple as that. Meanwhile, over the last couple of days, we've been talking about what the Dodgers' NLCS roster is going to look like. Dalton Rushing was left off the roster for the NLCS. Somebody had to go. The Dodgers wanted to add a pitcher in the best-of-7 series. That pitcher, by the way, Ben Kasparius. Now, that dude was pretty damn valuable during the regular season. He was a spot starter, pitched in long relief. His first 20 appearances, he had a 2.54 ERA. Opponents were batting only 194 against him. 44 strikeouts and only 7 walks. So yeah, he faded over the course of the year. But maybe with that little bit of a break, he's got a little something to add for the finishing kick. The Big Ten fined USC $5,000 for inserting running back Brian Jackson into their Week 7 win over Michigan, despite having listed him as out on the team's final pregame availability reports. And I don't care. $5,000. Ooh. $5,000 gets you a mattress somewhere outside of Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood for a month. $5,000. You have billboards all over California claiming that if you get popped for a DUI, you're out at least $10,000. If playing running back for USC means you could get away with, believe me, the Trojans don't care at all about a fine that's less than half of a DUI. Now, the Trojans called on Jackson after two ball carriers, Waymon Jordan and Eli Sanders, both exited the game with injuries. Lincoln Riley said after the game, the team doctors had cleared Jackson to play. The intention, Riley said, was only to use Jackson in an emergency situation. Meanwhile, as if the Trojans' high school recruiting wasn't successful enough, USC has added the top junior college cornerback in the country. Jaquan Morris visited the campus last weekend, watched the game, presumably was impressed. Morris currently plays for a junior college in Tupelo, Mississippi, which is right next to One-Pelo. R.I.P. Richard Pryor. Morris is the 6th defensive back coming to the Trojans next year. I'm not a fan of the phrase, there's two schools of thought on whatever. That's the cliche, right? But how will the Lakers look without LeBron James for the first few weeks of the season? Yeah. It's as simple as the decision being to maintain your offensive output or putting just a little bit more defense out there. The scribes who cover the Lakers think Jared Vanderbilt is going to get the starting spot. Also, J.J. Redick conceded that the swollen knee on draft pick Adu Fierro continues to be a thing. The rookie didn't participate in Summer League, and now he's being described as a modified participant in training camp. And I will be happy to send a Starbucks gift card to anybody who can describe what the hell that means. One thing that's kind of obvious, it should be, don't pay much attention at all to preseason polls, right? But UCLA basketball should feel somewhat good about itself. They are ranked 12th, according to the AP. Now, I have to add something. It surprised me a little, but if you go way down the list into the others receiving votes category, USC has 10. Technically, that means they are the 33rd best basketball team in America. But again, can't put a lot of stock into a preseason poll. But what I can put a lot of stock in is your opinion. So feel free to let me know what you think about the Dodgers getting that first win in Milwaukee. For that matter, Rams without Puka Nacua or with Puka Nacua. What would they do? And if you enjoyed the update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We are talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.